Hey guys, this is KinShun with KS Gaming. Today I got another video on Unison League, a class guide on the Ranger class. So, a little introduction, the Ranger class is one of the best DPS classes in the game. And what's unique about it is it uses both the physical and magical damage that the player has in order to deal damage to the enemy. And the Ranger actually has many skills in its arsenal to do so that utilizes both physical and magical together or separate to deal damage. And I'm going to go over some of the skills that's listed on the right side of this video and kind of explain why you would use them and what they are. So I'm going to start off with the basic skill, DPS skill of the archer, starting with Circle Snipe. What Circle Snipe does is usually it utilizes both the physical and magical attack of the Ranger, and this does a lot of damage because it utilizes both damage modifiers if you're able to up both physical and magical damage. So what this does is, at Circle Snipe, there's 3 different tiers. The first tier, it deals 1 hit, 1 physical hit, and 1 magical hit at 80 ability power to 1 enemy. And the number of hits per physical and magical strike increases as you increase the tier of the skill. So High Circle Snipe actually deals 2 hits physical, 2 hits magical with a total of 4 hits, and Lethal Strike ups that to 3. 3 physical, 3 magical with a total of 6 hits. So that's really good, right? Yes, that is actually very, very good. But the only problem with this skill is there's a really high chance of missing. And of the 10 times I use a skill, I only probably get all 6 hits in with Lethal Strike 4 or 5 times of 10. So there's a really, really high chance of missing. But if you're able to land all 6 hits with Lethal Strike, you're going to be doing lots of damage. The next skill that I'm going to talk about is Charge Shot and Charge Snipe. This is more the magical route of DPS skill of the Ranger. What this does is it's very similar to the Paladin class, where you use the Sword Clash skill to decrease the physical attack of the enemy. And this is very similar because this skill actually decreases the magical attack of the enemy by 10%. With Charge Snipe doing the same thing, but a little stronger. So if you have magic attack, stacked magic attack, this is something you can use as a support to the team by decreasing the magical attack of the enemy. Last skill I'm going to talk about is the Poison Attack. Poison Attack has 3 tiers: Poison Attack, Poison Assault, and Deadly Poison, each dealing more damage over the other. And what this does is it actually poisons the boss or enemy for 20 seconds. There's a 25% to do so at the top tier of the skill, but what that does is it deals damage to a percent of the HP of the enemy over a period of time. That's really good if you're able to stack the poison status element to the boss. It's really useful for bosses that has upped all their defenses and you aren't able to do any damage with your other skills. So those 3 are the 3 main DPS skills of the Ranger. Now I'm going to go into a little bit about the support skills of the Ranger, mainly World Tree's Blessing and Healing Wind. And what that does, it's the healing ability of the Ranger, and it heals 5% of the maximum HP for a selected player and a selected player in its adjacent players as well, in its upgraded form, World Tree's Blessing. That's really good. And if you actually up the passive of the Ranger, the percent of the maximum HP actually increases to 10% every 5 seconds. So this is a really good healing skill for the Ranger, and it can be actually used with any other class as well if you're able to max up to this point. Other skills like Balancing, able to remove buffs from all enemies, useful for bosses who's stacking defense, magic defense, attack. This is one of the ways to do it. The only problem is it costs 20 cost, and the cooldown is quite long, 60 seconds. So be very careful when using this in terms of timing. The last skill is the basic bread and butter of the ranger, and it's called Hunt. What it does, it reduces the aggro generated by your next ability, so it decreases the chance of the enemy of attacking the ranger when you're using the next ability, and also has a 50% chance of nullifying the magic damage for the next 10 seconds. Really good against magic attacks and against mages in guild battle. What that does is, if you use Hunt, it's a basic bread and butter skill because you're able to use this in combo with all the 3 DPS skills that I've listed on the right. If you use Hunt with the Lethal Strike skills, you're able to do more damage per strike, but the chance of missing is still the same. It's okay, more bang for the buck, right? There's actually bows later on that you can use to increase the accuracy of Lethal Strike, High Circle Snipe, and Circle Snipe. And I haven't gotten one of those yet, but when I do, I will post another video later and show you just how awesome it is. If you use a Hunt with Charge Shot and Charge Snipe, it increases the reduced target magic attack percentage by 20%. So that's kind of like the Smash Strike and the Sword Clash combo of the Paladin, except the magical version of that. Really good for support and decreasing the magical attack of the boss or the enemy. Next, if you use Hunt with the Poison tier of the skills, you increases the chance of poison up to 40%. And if you actually combine that with the passive the archer already has, this is a rough percentage of 50% of chance of poisoning the enemy. And if you're able to stack poison, you'll be doing a lot of damage per second in this way. And so Hunt is good to use whether you are using the ultimate DPS skill set, support DPS skill set, or the poison DPS skill set. Always use Hunt before using any of those DPS skills. Now, speaking of skill sets, the 3 that I recommend on the left of this video is the ultimate, support, and poison. And I'm going to go into each one and why I would recommend using each one of these. So starting with the ultimate DPS, as you can see, I put Lethal Strike, High Circle Snipe with Hunt to maximize damage on each of those skills. Lethal Hunt and High Circle Snipe are the highest damage dealing skill of the ranger. Why? Because it uses both your magical and physical damage as the basis for the attack. And with Hunt, it actually increases your ability power per strike. And if you're able to stack these 3 together, you'll be doing lots and lots of damage if you're upping both magical and physical attack. This last skill is the Eagle Eye. What this is, it's a buff that increases your critical chance by 30%. And you actually get this from the 2nd tier of the Lancer class. And if you're able to use this and max the passives of the Archer for Lethal Strike and High Circle Snipe, you're actually increasing your critical chance by 50% per strike. So the reason why I put this as the ultimate DPS skill set is because you're maximizing critical damage, maximizing ability power per Lethal Strike, and High Circle Snipe, and it works real well in dealing damage to the monsters. Alright, support DPS is the use of Charge Strike and Charge Snipe with World Tree's Blessing. So what you're really doing is, this is a skill set used if your magic damage is your focus of attack, because these skills use the magic damage modifier on your player. And what that does, what you're doing here is using Hunt to increase the percent effect that you're decreasing them of for the magic attack of the boss up to 20%, and you'll quickly stack the debuff up to 80% decrease, magic attack decrease of the boss. So this is good as a quote-unquote support for the ranger class. Now, I've only used this once or twice and it worked real well, but if you're looking to do damage, this isn't really the way to do it, but it's also helping out your party members at the same time. And you also, of course, you have World Tree's Blessing at the very end to regenerate your HP and HP of your party members. So this is what I consider as support DPS. Lastly, the poison DPS utilizes deadly poison and poison assault as your skill set with, let's see, with the Heaven's Blessing buff from the soldier. I'm trying to find it. Hold on. Heaven's Breath. There you go. Heaven's Breath is the one that increases your max HP by 60% for 90 seconds. So you're ensuring survivability, but you're really doing damage here with these poison attacks. First of all, you want high physical damage when you're using this build, and using Hunt to maximize the percent chance you're hitting a poison effect onto the monster, and you're able to stack poison onto the boss. You'll be doing lots and lots of damage over a certain period of time. So this personally I haven't really used. I only used it once actually, and it worked real well the one time I did use it. But if I want to maximize damage per second, I would still use the ultimate DPS. This is something you would use if you have high physical attack, more so than magical attack. Alright, so those are the 3 skill sets that I would recommend you use for a ranger. Not one is not better than the other, but it just depends on your playstyle and what gears you already have, and also the stats that you've already stacked on your character. Now, next I'm going to go into some equipment. In terms of cost distribution, there's many ways to do this. As you can see, I have a gear score of 65k right now at level 71 with 3 URs and 2 SSRs. As a general rule for rangers, I would recommend maximizing the cost of the weapon. Why? Because you want to use 5 UR weapons if possible. That to maximize your skill proc for each of these bows. The proc that I would use for a ranger is the Fatal Testament if you're using the ultimate DPS class. This is to increase the physical and magical damage of your attack when you're using Lethal Strike and High Circle Snipe. So as you can see, I've got 2 bows that actually stacks this. This last one right here is Heart of Healing, increases the effect of healing when a World Tree's Blessing. It's really good if you're able to proc this when using that skill, because you're able to heal for 40% of the HP of your allies over 30 seconds. That's a lot of HP. But anyways, the main point of this is that you should distribute your cost by maximizing the weapon first. I think with 5 URs, that's a total of 125 cost. So yeah, I would focus on that right now. As you can see, I have 114 right now, but I'm working on it. In terms of creatures, I would use green creatures as they up the stats of your physical and magical attack. I've only got 2 right here, but I've been real lucky in getting creatures lately, so I'm actually using these Kesapasas as buffers. Armor, and in terms of armor and helmet, not much I can say. I mean, just use them however you can, increase the cost accordingly. But since Archer is a DPS class, focus on the damage by increasing the cost of the weapon and the monsters. Alright, so that's it for the Ranger class. I hope you find this video useful. I'm going to include some of the gameplay video of my current build right now, just to show you how much damage I'm doing with this build. Again, I have 3 UR weapons and 2 SSR right now, which have the potential to go up to a UR. Each 2 with Fatal Testament, increasing both magical and physical, and with this wand and spear that increases magical and physical testament, respectively. So check it out. Alright guys, this is the gameplay video of my Archer right now with the ultimate DPS skill set. So what I have is 2 Lethal Strikes, Flanks, and Eagle Eye. You see, I have a really good team right now, so I'm not going to get a team hit in, but we'll see. So what I use for this build, first I would start buffing with the Eagle Eye buff, increase my critical chance, use Punch before using a lethal shot. You can see here, I'm doing quite a bit of damage here. I didn't crit there, but that's still 4,000 to 5,000 damage per hit. I'll try again here. Even with a high circle snipe, I'm doing about that much damage. 25%. This team was a really good team. Just killing everybody. Can't really show you how much damage I'm doing. I'll try to get a hit in right here. There it is. So I'm getting about, 4 to 10k with a crit per lethal shot. And that's really good. High circle snipe. See all that red damage right there? I practically took 2/3 of the HP of the boss. So as you can see, this is a really good DPS build of the Ranger. Getting money there. Let's see if I get the dragon. No, I didn't get the dragon. Comes in that last chest. Alright, well that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you find this video helpful in selecting which DPS or which skill set to use, not even skill set, just the skills that you might have questions about or how much damage you can be doing, please like and comment on the video in the bottom. I also have a soldier guide that I made about a week ago. If you actually want to see that, there's a link up there. Let's go straight to it. So thanks again. Hope to see you guys next time with another class guide video, and keep checking in for other guild battles I have with the Radiant Guild. Thanks again. See you guys later.